Welcome one and all to the L&C Podcast. Wow, we're back yet again. And as soon as we are, I think people have just given up faith in that we'll return in like a timely manner, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Our schedule is kind of like, so we be like 2 weeks, 3 days, you know what I'm saying? Like
a year. We're trying to get consistent. So we're trying to hit a sweet spot somewhere between a week and 3 months. I feel like is adequate to, keep people on their toes. Make sure you're subscribed and you have the, notification bell on all these different platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, which, by the way, I want to say at the top here, if you listen to the podcast, which I know all two of you listeners out there have probably been wondering why our Spotify and Apple feeds are all jacked up. It's because we had an issue where we couldn't upload an episode for whatever reason. I think it's a copyright issue. And rather than go through and meticulously edit that episode so that it can be posted, I'm just going to skip it. So after this gets posted, you'll see our audio feeds return to normal, barring that one episode, sadly. You'll have to catch that on YouTube where there are no issues. But that's that. Like we said, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm not going to really say much more at the top here because we have another guest. Like how often is it that we have two guests back to back guest episodes?
It doesn't happen too
It
often.
never happens.
They're very rare things,
These guests are few and far between on our program. We've had a drought, as it were, but now we're filling the. We're filling.
We used to bust them out, just like pop, 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 pop.
Yes,
but now
yes.
It's trickling in.
We are back in action, and we have another fantastic comedian joining us by the name of Abe Mousavi. Give it up for Abe, y'all, in the comments down below. Make some noise. How is it going, Abe?
Hey, y'all. How you doing? Thanks a lot for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here and for keeping the dream alive and real, because this show is can you call something a show if nobody watches it or really knows about it or cares?
Yeah, of course you can.
There's still a show.
Yeah, I guess so. And we're all too familiar with that because as comedians we have shows that we go play and hope to get paid for, where there might be all of 5 people in the audience. So.
Hey, but they're there, man. They're there.
But the show must go on. And we've met several times now in Woodbridge, just all around, because you know how it is in our area. You see the same people at all the same functions for the most part. And I mean, you've always stood out as somebody who's very confident and very you just got a great aura, a great persona, great stage presence, and
wow, thank you.
Always love to see you doing your thing, man.
That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate it, man.
I mean,
thank
but
you.
it's the truth. I mean, when did you get into this? When did you discover comedy and think of it as something that you wanted to try out?
So comedy was always one of those things I was like kind of interested in. Even from the time when I was a kid, I really liked Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy, and but I just never really thought it was something I could do. And then a little under a year ago, I went to the Dan's mic at Alexandria Beer Garden. Shout out Dan.
Yeah.
And I just went to go see comedy, and I had the very arrogant thought that I'm funnier than half these motherfuckers, right?
Oh boy,
forgive me. And so I signed up to do the mic a couple weeks later, and I went up and I bombed. Holy fucking shit, that I bombed so hard.
At least you didn't ask to go up that.
That's when I got hooked.
Yeah, at least you didn't ask to go up that night, because there's a lot of people who have that pitfall of this is their first time doing anything like this or seeing anything like it in person, and they go, let me get my name on the list, or I remember at that same mic, I remember one night going to Dan Kaufman's mic, and there was this group of kids there, like college age people, right? And it's this big, because they have these big picnic tables in this restaurant where they do the open mic at, and this whole table occupied just by all this guy's friends. And he gets up there and he just does, I mean, one of the worst performances I've ever seen of any kind on stage. And it's just it's just a big joke, just like the fact that he's up there. And at the end of it, he even, you know, cops to the fact that it was just a dare, or it was a bet he lost with his fraternity or whatever the hell was going on. And that's why he was up there doing it in the first place. And then this was before. I heard about that. I think this was before Dan was running it, and it's a guy named Vinny Lombardi who started that mic. Wicked comedy, right? It was Vinny's mic, and he went up there and was like, "Wow, that was something," right? And then just the whole table leaves right after. So I mean, it was kind of a sore sight to behold, and all of his entire group got up and left right after. So it was kind of just a big fuck you to the whole room and to the whole crowd.
Wow. Jesus. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I've got that story confuzzed with there was a network guy, he had lost his fantasy football league, and the punishment was he had to go do stand-up comedy, and he actually did really good.
Oh, that's funny.
All of us afterwards were like, "Hey man, you should do this. Like you're pretty fucking good at this, you know?" And he's like, "Really?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay," and I haven't seen him since. That sucks. He was legit good.
Wow. Damn. He must have practiced, though. He must have seen it coming and was like, "Okay, I need to get some jokes together. Maybe steal a couple here or there, and I need to get my ass up there."
I mean, it didn't sound like anything I'd heard before. I mean, thematically, yes, but his jokes were good. His timing was good. His pacing was good. I was. All of us kind of like, "Yo, dog, maybe you should consider doing this."
I hate that. I'm glad he never came back. I'm glad you never saw him again, because that's lightning in a bottle. That's something that I'm so jealous of, because I feel like my experience is your experience, right? Where you get up there those first few times and it's just figuring it out and eating shit, thinking that you're going to do a lot better than you did. And my first time wasn't bad. I mean, like if we were to watch it back right now, I would wince and cringe just at like how bad the jokes were compared to where I'm at now. But I mean, I didn't outright bomb or anything. I ran the light, and that was bad. That was a bad look because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I think the second and third time I just fell flat and ate shit completely, and that was very humbling. So, I hate people who kind of just coast on that high and seem to just flying. So I hate seeing people succeed like that. It's really disheartening. And so you've decided to and
their talent too.
When was that? When did you first try ABG?
I want to say it was last March, so I'm coming up on a year.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's awesome. A year now? Yeah, I remember that. I remember my first year.
Was it March? February, March, something like that?
Yeah.
You think you're improving? You think you're getting like way better? Like I'm sure you've watched it back. I'm sure you have like a whole bank of videos, because I see you recording yourself a lot, and I'm sure you go back and you're like, "Oh my God!" Like I'm so glad.
Absolutely, man. But like, so yeah, I would say I'm improving, but I'd say there's an echo that's kind of fucking with me. But there's
Lorenzo, turn
the
your
best improvement I ever had.
Yeah, my bad, Lorenzo. You see the gain dial on your mic there? Just turn it down some. Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Go for it, Abe.
Check.
Yeah,
much better. So I'd say that the most improving I ever did was when I went through the ASAP Comedy Boot Camp, the Armed Services Arts Partnership, their comedy boot camp. And Monica Daly, Dave McCowan, and Justin Selmer were my instructors. And they did their thing. I'm still kind of getting that echo a little bit, but
that's just.
But yeah,
Abe, let me tell you right now, this is going to be the most low budget, like shitty operation you've ever seen in your life as far as AV is concerned. So I'm going to apologize right now at the top, but those kinds of things are unavoidable because Lorenzo on his end, Well, he is working out of, I mean, what I can only liken to a Guantanamo Bay situation where it's just kind of a, well, is it a torture chamber that you're in?
You doing it, Lorenzo.
Is it? No, go, like, please explain, like, where you are right now. Are you in peril as we speak? Are your captors looming overhead?
3 times if you need help.
Please do, yes.
The whole room is yellow. I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
I don't know where
it was
I'm
spinning
at.
earlier. Before we started, you had... I was going to have a seizure based on whatever the fuck was happening with your camera. Your microphone broke yesterday, and we're still trying to resolve that. This is just...
Oh, man.
This has been a complete disaster of a week for the podcast, and it really is a blessing from God that you're able to join us. And like I said, back-to-back guests is... but yeah, just I'm going to... I got to confess, this is going to be bad. Like through and through. So
right, well,
buckle up.
Knowing that, I'll
don't
through it.
Don't worry
absolutely.
about it. Don't worry about it coming through on your end. It's not your fault. It's completely ours. But
wonderful.
That's awesome. I love Monica.
Get back to your question. I'd say.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I love all those people. Monica, especially, comes to mind. Was Dwayne involved in any way in that in your program?
No. He is an ASAP. Pardon me. Excuse me. He is a ASAP instructor, but he wasn't. They have like different teams. He and PT Bratton are another instructor team, and Monica and Dave were my instructor team. I
see. And so you really, so you didn't start with that experience, but you went and tried the open mic the one night, and then you discovered.
So actually, it was Dan. Yeah, so I think I did like 2 or 3 of Dan's mics, and I sucked like equally as bad all 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And Dan took pity on me and pulled me aside and said, "Hey, man, you're a vet. You should check out this class ASAP. They'll get you right." And he was absolutely correct, and right. I thank him every day for it.
That's awesome. Good on Dan, because Dan's former military too, right?
He is. Yeah, he's currently in the Navy Reserves.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. We got to get Dan on here too.
Yeah, he just got done with the drill weekend when he's clean shaven.
When he's shaved, yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah. I'm sure he gets a lot of crap for that. Sure. So you did that. You felt like it was constructive. You felt like they inspired you to continue this. I mean, what compelled you to keep going after the ASAP program?
I've noticed that this might be a deeper answer than what you're looking for, but as I thought about things, I realized that I'm attracted to things that have a low barrier for entry but a high barrier for success. Mm-hmm. And the first time I got a really good laugh after I started taking because I was still doing mics when I was a student, and based upon the feedback they gave me, I restructured jokes and did things, and when I got like a first like no shit laugh, I was hooked. Yeah. But then I remembered, like, it took a lot of work to get to that one laugh, and a lot of, putting your ego aside and just receiving the data from the audience that your jokes fucking suck and you need to improve them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I would have gotten there as quickly as I did without their instruction. Right. And those first few laughs are pretty intoxicating. They really are. And oh yeah. That's definitely what drives me. Like I think I would have quit very early on if after the first 3 or 4 I didn't get any laughter. But even if you lock eyes with one person that you're both just locked in and you can tell that they're enjoying themselves and they're belly laughing or they're leaning forward or doing anything to indicate that you've made them laugh, it's like, okay, well that's a drug and I'm addicted and this is when does this end? Right. Absolutely. I love the sigh too. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm talking about? Like after they get done laughing and they go, yeah. Like, you can take a breather. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's how you know you fucking did it. Goddamn. If they trying to catch the breath, that's how you fucking know you did that shit. Mm-hmm. It hasn't happened. I think it's only happened like twice, but when it did happen, I was like, oh, this feels like that first big laugh I got. Like it was pretty neat. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I get those, but I'm okay with it too. It's all right. But damn, that'd be good.
I'm sure you do, man.
One time,
Someday.
I was writing with a few fucking comedian friends, and like they were fucking joking on me, but like it was so fucking funny. I'm like in the floor, like dying laughing. Like I can't control my fucking like like it's serious. And like one of them was like, "We're not even funny, y'all, because I've never seen them laugh like this." And I'm like, real talk, like. If I think about this shit, like my jokes don't get people like that. Like they're not falling out the fucking seat. But like, I wish I could create a fucking, and I feel like that's like probably the structure of like jokes that connect, and like you really get them fucking going. Just like a good ass, funny ass story. I don't know. I feel like it's better if it's more relatable. But like, I want some gut busting fucking laughs. Like some really good shit. But that shit's
Are you a vet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you served?
Yeah.
Oh, so do the ASAP course, man. If you haven't already, do the ASAP course.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never brought that up, but
it.
that's an excellent point. You should definitely sign up for it. It only costs what? What was the
$0
Oh my gosh!
Oh, shit.
Yeah, definitely do it because you'll
it's
get
100% free.
You'll get up in DC. You'll practice with
At the
these
Improv.
with these teams, and then you do a debut show, at the DC Improv. So that's absolutely. That's kind of like the cheat code for this.
Yeah, and all your instructors are going to be working comics, like current working comics that are also veterans. So they speak both languages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't speak highly enough of it. Sorry. Hello.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna look into that because like if I got the tool, why not use it?
Absolutely. Another thing that really helped, and they suggested this in the course, was this book, the new Comedy Bible. This really helped structure joke writing. It has an accompanied like workbook thing. But you can also just write the stuff out on a sheet of paper. But it's a great tool. It's another great tool.
Definitely, because I want to be great at all I do, but like to get laughs like that, I'm gonna. Sometimes you need a tool in order to further draw out your potential.
Yeah, and when you're telling a story, because I noticed that when you write jokes, Lorenzo, you're mostly telling stories and anecdotes about things that have happened to you recently or in the past, and I find to get laughs easily with those, you can't focus so much on the story itself, but you need to focus on the beats in the story. You need to focus on where are the punchlines, how many punchlines are there. You need to think of it as joke writing just like anything else and not just like slam poetry or something like that, So you really have to time it out. You have to think about how many words you're using and how many of them are leading to a big punch of some kind, and really editing that down. Because my open mic, and I just witnessed this last night, there's a lot of people who have a lot of great new premises and ideas, but what they don't know how to figure out is how to really trim all the fat of like, this is nonsense that nobody needs to hear about. Or this is just, this is stuff you're saying out loud. Is this as if this were a therapy session where what you should be doing is just giving us exactly what we need to understand the topic, to understand the premise, and then immediately hitting us with something to laugh about. Set up, punchline, set up, punchline, set up, punchline. Don't think of it so much as that you're this author that's, like spinning a tale or something. Nobody wants to see that.
Back in 1937 in London.
Right. No, like I watched like the first half of Bill Maher's special last night, and that's the worst decision I've ever made in my life. It ruined my entire evening. I was coming off of a high. Like I said, we just did the first open mic of the year after being on break over the holiday. And I got home. I turned on HBO because I was going to watch Rome, the series.
Oh, great series!
Yeah, no, I just started it. I love it. I was going to finish the first season. I'm almost at the end of it. And as soon as I was about to click on continue watching, I saw Bill Maher's face. He's kind of doing a side profile thing in like one of these, and he looked like a goofball. So I clicked on it and I was like, let me see what he's up to. And it was just the most god awful, just like I'm talking like Roseanne Barr level shit of just talking and just like like preach comedy, like clapter baiting, and a lot of like make some noise if ... not a lot of jokes and just like eliciting. He was almost doing a TED talk, but as an asshole, like that being the caricature.
A Todd talk,
right? A Chad talk. So, it's just like that's the worst, when somebody gets up and if they're just spouting off ideas, or if they're just explaining something that happened to them that's maybe inherently funny but not really otherwise captivating. The trick, and I'm sure that's all in that book that you were given, right? I'm sure it's all.
I bought this. This is a new comedy Bible.
New comedy Bible. I'm sure it's right up in there. You need to get creative, and if that means making something up, if that means coming up with something maybe contrived just for the sake of making it a joke, turning it into a joke, then that's what it takes. You gotta set up punchline. It's really all there is to it. So
absolutely.
So, I mean, how many shows do you think you've done so far, Abe? How many like actual like showcases now?
Shows? Like 10, maybe.
Okay, you're
somewhere around there. Yeah.
You're a year in, 10 shows. 10. Yeah, that's awesome. You're really doing it, and you travel too. I saw. We'll plug all your events later, but yeah, I mean, you're in Pennsylvania. Have you been to West Virginia yet? Have you been?
No, not yet. I'd love to go out there though. I love West Virginia.
Yeah, there's a lot out there.
I like hitting the road, man. It's I enjoy performing, which is weird because I didn't realize how much I enjoyed performing and how much I missed performing. I didn't do it for over 20 years, and in various forms. But it's I love going to new places and meeting new people, and so like whatever. So if anyone hits me up, they're like, "Hey, are you available on X?" Like my first instinct is to say, "Fuck yes, I am." But I've been married almost 16 years now, and I want to continue to be married. So what I've learned is to say, "Hey, hon, do we have anything going on X?" Because I've made the mistake of not running it by her. Yeah, I've made the mistake of not doing that and just getting excited about the shiny thing.
Right.
A few times, and have gotten in trouble for it, rightly so, for what it's worth. And but yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know how to describe it other than it's just something I'm drawn to. And doing it is something I'm drawn to, and it's fun, it's exciting, and I want to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. So 10 shows.
I don't know if that answered your question.
No, yeah, it was perfect. 10 shows so far. In or around that amount. What has been your worst experience? And I don't expect you to name the production or anything. You don't have to get into too many specifics. But what was your worst experience, and what made it as bad as it was? That's what I like hearing about.
So I'm very new to this. Like I'm extremely new to this. So I really don't feel like I'm in a position to like complain about things too much. Mm-hmm. But I will say that the most bizarre situation I ever did, and I'm not going to get into the venue or the name or the producer and all that, but the payment was doled out, and I'm grateful I got paid, but it was doled out half in cash and half in $5 Dunkin' Donut gift cards that expired in a week from the date he gave it to me. Everyone on that show got that same, got the same payment. And all of us were kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it's something, mm-hmm. Like America runs on Dunkin' or whatever the fuck. But but yeah, that was probably the most bizarre experience. Plus, when we were on stage, there was like a jumbotron behind us playing like trap videos. The sound was off. We got them to turn the sound off. But that was an interesting experience. Yeah, that's one I probably won't ever forget. Yeah.
The jumbotron, was it outside? Was it outdoors?
No, I say jumbotron. It was inside. It was like
gotcha.
four flat screens kind of put together and synced up.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
I see.
shit. Oh, that'd be dope as fuck. Damn.
Yeah, I see that a lot of places where they'll be like screen or like extended displays or whatever with a big picture. Okay. Yeah.
But it was distracting because you could see people like looking at you, and then they look at the chick twerking on the. And I don't blame them. I'd rather look at chicks twerking than me too.
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean? Like,
oh my gosh.
But so that was I took it as a challenge. Like what can I do? How can I command the stage?
How can you captivate
have that good stage
everybody?
presence.
Right.
And so I took it as a challenge rather than being upset about it. But in hindsight, I was like, Dunkin' Donuts things, man. Like seriously, whatever.
Man, you're so positive.
That person is no longer producing comedy shows.
Wow. Wow.
At least he tried.
Yeah, I had a similar experience where there was no payment when we were promised payment, and the person also subsequently quit, and rightfully so. I was pissed, and I think everybody was. And the whole time I'm patting him on the back and being like, "Hey, bud, what are you gonna do? You tried. We're all here. Let's do this thing." And we get in the venue or whatever, and there's no audience whatsoever. He didn't sell a single ticket, and the only audience was he had like a wet bar person, like some vendor just with liquor on a table set out for what would have been the audience to
like a caterer's license
drinks
or whatever.
Like kinda, yeah, right. Because it was at a cafe, they didn't have a liquor license, but they brought someone in to sell and mix drinks.
Okay.
So there was this bartender there, and it was under like a tent, right? So it was under this tarp, and it was I can't remember when, but I just remember it being so hot out that like we're all sweating, and it's outdoors for some reason when it could have been.
God, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, and we're performing to nobody. We're like nobody's watching this.
And you're sweating on top of it.
But we're still sweating outside. It was just, it was a disaster.
Fucking get paid after
no
that
payment.
Shit. Hey,
yeah.
Yo.
It was in Maryland, so I drove more than 2 hours to get there. Yeah, it was bad. And that was that was supposed to have been my first experience headlining. This guy made me the headliner. So I closed it out. I cut my time short because nobody wanted to be there. But just like you said, like you look at those kinds of instances as challenges. You're like, okay, what can I make out of this? What type of gold can I spin from this, if any at all, if there's anything to reap from this? And you just get up there at the end of the day, and you're proving to yourself that you can remember what you came there to do, and that you can execute it. But holy shit, yeah, I'm still mad. I'm still reeling over that experience.
You're still bitter.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So
that's
bitter.
fair, man.
Like I wish nothing.
I probably would be too.
The worst for that guy. And he had experience producing. Like it's like he should have known what he was doing was wrong.
Man.
Like at no point did common sense kick in, and like he didn't call off the show when he realized no ticket sales had transpired. Nothing.
Now, do you think comedy would be fun if there weren't situations like this? For us to laugh about.
I do.
Afterward,
I 100% do.
You do?
I don't think it would be the same. I don't think it would be comedy as we know it, because we all kind of expect those things to happen every so often. We expect to walk into a situation or be led into a situation where it's like, oh, this is nothing like it was advertised on the outset. This just feels like a scam through and through, or just somebody not thinking or thinking that magically audience members would materialize from thin air or something like that, or miscommunication with the venue or something like that. But I feel like, but at the same time, I've been a musician for a long time. I've been in situations where there's nobody there for your, for your festival or your concert or anything like that, and maybe that's just a constant throughout all performance art. Period. But
I agree with that. I spent some time as a musician too, and there's definitely those sorts of stories, and we would just say like, all right, well, we're just treating this like band practice in a new space, like
exactly.
let's let her rip.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that I guess that's probably, I don't want to say it's the worst, but that's definitely the most interesting because knock on wood, I haven't had a bad experience yet.
Heck yeah.
Don't say yet.
I'm sure they're on the way. Aside from like, I don't know if you can bomb at a mic. I don't know if it's appropriate to say to bomb at a mic because the mic, to me, a mic is an experiment. Where you have a hypothesis and you go out and you collect the data and you evaluate the data and you update your hypothesis and you redo the experiment. But like I haven't really been heckled too much. I haven't. Things so far, and I hate to put this out in the ether and shoot myself in the foot, but I really haven't had a bad experience yet, and I'm really grateful for that.
No, that's awesome, and I mean, just keep riding that wave, ride that high, because there will come a day, and I'm manifesting this for you sure. that it's just you're gonna walk in there and you're like, where the fuck am I? Why did I agree to this? Why am I even doing this? I want to quit. But I was saying this before I was getting into, you're such a positive guy, and your energy is infectious. I'm smiling now, and I hate smiling. This is not me at all, but it's just like you're like Santa Claus or something. I don't know what's happening to me right now. It's like this magical ether.
Persian Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Kababa Claus. Huh?
Do you ever get conscripted to play the role around, or do you even celebrate Christmas or anything? Do you take that on?
My mom is Catholic and my dad is Muslim, so I had a very interesting upbringing religion-wise, and he's Persian on top of all that. So you have all of the Christian holidays, and you have all of the Muslim holidays, but then you also have like Persian holidays. Mm-hmm. And it was always. Pardon me?
Oh no, I'm just agreeing. Yeah.
Oh no, fun is one way to put it. It was definitely interesting. Christian, you're mixed race as well, so there's all that stuff that goes into it, right?
Right. Yeah, fun.
But it's it was interesting. It was a lot of fun at times. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But it was like, it really makes one question religion and social constructs and all that when you have two people who are equally as important in your life who believe very different things, and you kind of have to figure out for yourself like which of those things makes sense. But it was interesting.
What is it? Is it Farsi that they speak in Persia? Mm-hmm. So did you end up learning both and kind of like mix the two into like farless, you know what I'm saying?
For English? No. My dad I knew enough Farsi growing up just to get me in trouble with like the 100% Iranian kids, you know what I mean? But or the Persian kids, I should say, because as my dad said, Persia was around long before Iran, maybe. But so like not so much. Yeah, we spoke English in the house. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So have you met Rolla Z yet? Does that ring a bell? No. Are you familiar with her?
I think I might have seen her name like on Instagram or something, but I don't. Yeah. I've never met her. No.
I'd love to introduce the two of you because she does a lot of shows. She's Lebanese, and she does a lot of shows in Arabic and with Arab lineups, right? So, and she, I'm forgetting what the name is. I think it's called Funny Arabs is actually the name of the series of showcases. So, and she does those.
I wonder if I would rate to be on that show because I wonder if she's saying like Arabs just like kind of as the, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like specific.
Yeah, because Middle Eastern, because Persians and Arabs are completely different cultures. Like they're similar, but they don't really like identify with each other. So aside from the religious aspect, but there's Iranian Jews, believe it or not. So so that's an interesting. But yeah, I'd love the invite. That'd be great.
It's not exclusively Arab performers, but her brand of comedy is she calls it traumedy. It's like trauma based humor, and it's really dark subjects. So if you're ever willing to to go there and then also bring that sort of converse perspective as somebody of like Persian descent or with Persian family or Persian dad, right? I think that you would do well, because I mean she has all kinds of people on those shows: white people, black people, and then Lebanese, Iranian. There's a really funny Iranian comic named Sami Tamimi who's on all those shows. He's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a diversion. That just a lot of I could gauge by the way you talk about your dad and his influence on you. That seems like a lot of the same stories that a lot of those people tell at her shows.
Yeah.
So,
once he hit the little hats and shit, and he said,
no, exactly.
I was like, it's a rap. It's a rap. Hey, yo.
Yeah. So how would you describe your brand, so to speak? Like what are most of your jokes centered around, and what are you talking about on stage?
One of the things. So the thing that ASAP really drives home is you have to tell jokes from the first person. And when you do that, they are a lot more authentic. So all of my jokes are centered around my life and my experiences. I talk about being in the Marine Corps. I talk about life as a government employee. That after I got out of the Marine Corps, I talk about my marriage. And then I guess the brand I would say is a observational sarcasm. I just try to, I look at things. I think all of us comics kind of see the world in a little bit of a different way, especially now that I've started to get into this. Like it sucks because like I have a hard time just like actually enjoying things, because when things happen, I'm like, ooh, how can I make this a bit?
Yeah. That's a curse.
But
that's a disease.
That's generally it. Yeah. I try to keep it upbeat. I want people to laugh with me and at me.
Yeah.
I don't want people to laugh. I don't want people to laugh. Like I don't want to ever seem like I'm putting somebody down or laughing at someone else's expense. But unless they're like wildly famous or powerful, like those people are absolutely fair game. Yeah. Although I will say this, I used to have a couple bits on President Biden until I saw that debate, and I was like, nah, this just doesn't feel right. Yeah. Like even if he is the president, like
for sure. Shame on you.
It's too real now.
Yeah. So yes, and if I do wade into treacherous waters, I always try to make sure that it's from my personal experience and my personal observations, and not those people are this or these people are that. That's one thing that really drove home.
No, definitely. That's really cool of you. That's big of you to adopt early on. Not punching down or any of that, and trying to uplift. And again, I think that speaks to you as a person, and again, your overall vibe and energy, to use Zoomer language, is that you seem like a very wholesome, happy-go-lucky dude. And
thanks, man. I can be a real dickhead if certain situations dictate. You know what I mean? But,
I've heard you.
What do we say? Like,
yeah, I've heard you do bits about being in the Marine Corps, and then you raise your voice, you get pretty loud, and that is scary. Like to do that quick turn like that. Yeah, to do that. Oh my gosh! But that's the benefit of being like an outwardly facing, nice, kind of approachable guy, you get to go up there and you get to, you know, rip them a new one, and everyone actually reacts, or they might, you know, if you need to bring people back and captivate them and get their attention, you can do that pretty easily, it seems.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's what was that movie, Tropic Thunder? Robert Downey Jr.'s character. You know, there's a lot of wisdom in that movie. If you look past the humor, there's a whole. I mean, like, you never go full retard. I mean, that's
right.
There's logic in that. You know, like the topic is, you know, like the topic is taboo, or like, you know, you shouldn't say that in polite company. But the premise of, like, you can't, because you said it yourself, like, you can't walk back from that. Like, if you come out swinging, you know, I don't know if you guys watch, you know, fighting or boxing or mixed martial arts or any of that. Like, the guys that come out just swinging and banging, they burn out, and they've got nowhere else to go. And I think that same sort of thing applies to comedy. What are my thoughts?
Damn, I can see that. I can see that.
Heck yeah.
You know, side note, I've only seen the bottom half of Tropic Thunder, so like, I didn't see the first part. You know, so
it's the best part, man.
Oh my fucking god! I know,
bro. Especially as a vet, you will love that movie.
I gotta see the whole thing.
You'll love the blackface, especially the Robert Downey Jr. playing a black guy playing another guy, whatever the joke is.
I'm the dude playing a dude trying to be another dude. Yeah. It's so good, man.
I was in high school when I saw that, and I didn't know who Robert Downey Jr. was. I had no clue about him or nothing. And like, I was confused because he was. Did
you not know he was a white dude?
And I didn't. I was like, why is he wiping white shit on his face? I was so confused.
Wow, it was that convincing.
Oh man, that reminds me of. I saw this. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, it was very confusing, and I think I wasn't expecting it neither. I just didn't know it was an option. So like, I was just like, you know, only what the fuck. Why is he wiping the white shit on his fucking face? But he was actually removing the shit, and I didn't find out till like years later that that's what it was. So the whole time I got this whole incorrect notion on the movie, and I haven't even seen half of it.
Yeah, we figured that out.
Parts, apparently.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, man. Reminds me of that story. Reminds me, I don't know if it was a documentary on Queen or if the Queen was just like the subject of this documentary, the band Queen. And their first big radio hit was Another One Bites the Dust. And that song went to number one on the R&B charts in the United States first before it went to number one on the rock and roll charts. And that was before MTV. Like, all people had was the radio. And there's this part in this documentary where I think they're either in like Brooklyn or Harlem. They're somewhere in New York. And they're telling black people that are vibing to the song that it's a bunch of white dudes from England, and they're like, for real?
Yeah.
It's just I think that's awesome. Like, you know, art is art and good is good.
I used to think that it was black people. Like, when I hear Another One Bites the Dust, I thought it was like Jackson 5 or some shit. I thought it was black people the whole time. It's like, what's his name? What You Won't Do for Love? Bobby. What's it like? Bobby Collins?
Caldwell.
Bobby Caldwell. I thought his ass was black too.
What you would not do.
I'd have bet money on that shit, boy.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna sing
the
that.
Yacht Rock documentary?
No, but I want
HBO?
to. Yeah, I've seen the ads for it.
It is a tremendous. Like, I'm so glad that, you know, COVID. I feel like we're finally out of the COVID rut in filmmaking, especially documentary filmmaking, because there is just this year, it's just been banger after banger after banger for documentaries. The Yacht Rock documentary is great. The Kings of Tupelo documentary is great. It's phenomenal, man. I feel like Tiger King was like the last like interesting, crazy story documentary, and then there was kind of a drought there for a few years, and now we're back, and it's great.
Yeah, no, they're back. The Tiger King people are back. Did you see their new show?
No, I didn't.
Or the director of that, he made a show about these monkey people. So people who who house primates and chimpanzees and capuchin monkeys.
Is there a character like what's his nuts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. So if you go on HBO, it's not on Netflix this time. It's on HBO, and it's a lady. Her name's Tanya Haddix, and she's got this big Dolly Parton-esque cover photo. Let me pull her up, Tanya. Haddix. Oh, there. Of course, it's the white trash spelling. There it is. And there she is.
Tanya.
Yeah. So this lady. You haven't seen this lady's picture anywhere? Yeah, that's her.
Dude, she looks like if Miss Piggy was a real person.
Like truly, shit, she is a Muppets character through and through in the show.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's the new Tiger King.
I don't know if I should pass judgment on her. Is she nice or is she like a piece of shit?
No, she's a piece of shit. She's bad.
Okay.
She's gotta be.
She's as bad as the Tiger King is, where they paint them in sort of like like you're rooting for them at points, but then you realize, oh, they're abusing animals, and it's kind of just not a good look.
She looks like a trans Dee Snider.
I don't know who Dee Snider is, but she does look trans, so I will give you that.
Dee Snider is the singer of a band called Twisted Sister.
She absolutely does. Right on the money. Wow.
Thank you, buddy.
There's him with boobs, it looks like.
It was the hair and the facial features and the makeup and
he just
needs... Dee Snider, for all of his looks, there's a what was that thing? It was the PMRC. It was Al Dole's wife. I forgot her name, but they were the organization that eventually led to the parental warning explicit lyrics thing that got slapped on CDs. And Dee Snider went to go testify on the Hill about it. People look at him and they make assumptions of him, but he gets up there and he's just like super eloquent and articulate, and he's just like working the I forget what side of the I couldn't remember if it was like the House or the Senate, but he held his own there, and they just figured he was some dumb hippie rocker who couldn't hang.
Hell yeah.
And he absolutely hung. So I got a lot of respect for that dude.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, that's you see that there's a lot of people who will go before Congress or whatever Senate hearings that are celebrities or entertainers that nobody would take seriously, but then they just drop the act, and I think that's what catches everybody off guard. That's what, and it really it propels whatever the greater point is. It propels it even further because it's we're being serious now. The comedian is making jokes here. He's not doing a bit.
Yeah, like Jonathan Stewart.
Jon Stewart isn't doing a bit about 9/11 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's And I think Robin Williams had a similar thing at one point. You mentioned him as one of your idols. I think
I'm not sure if he ever. I'm not sure if I know that he testified on. I'm sure if he did, I'm sure it was great. I've never. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah,
I'd love to. I'm sure it was great.
But I could picture this guy and everybody be like, okay, this is going to be a big waste of time, and all these snooty ass politicians, and then he's like, no, I'm actually here to rip you a new one. That's awesome.
There's some real issues, you guys, and I'm about to assert to put these bitches in your face.
I'm gonna let's watch a video real quick, and then we'll watch a couple clips, and then we'll get out of here. I don't want to keep you too long, Abe, but
cool.
I just thinking about your disposition in general. I wonder how you would handle somebody coming up to you and approaching you like this. What would you do or say?
World is a cutie patootie like you doing standing around.
I'm working.
Well, hello, cutie pie.
So this guy's in Walmart.
Okay.
And he's recording people. I think unbeknownst to them, he must have a hidden camera somewhere on his person. And he's being pretty forward by all accounts, right? He's complimenting them in a kind of an untoward way for, I think, a straight man to receive that, right?
Oh, no, you?
Yeah.
No, but you can get
so this actually happened to me.
Wow.
I don't know if a dude was recording, but I've been hit on by dudes in a grocery store, and I say, "Hey, man, thanks, I appreciate it."
So you're a survivor, is what you're saying.
You made my day. Yeah,
that's incredible.
You made my day. I appreciate it. And I go home, and I go home and tell my wife about it. And I go, "Hey, I got hit on by a dude today. I still got it."
Wow. What? So what do they say?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't remember.
Remember.
It was something very
a lot of
complimentary.
victims. No, but seriously, Abe, a lot of victims will say that they can't remember because it's what happened to you was sexual assault. I'm not sure if you realize.
You're calling me a victim. I don't consider it being
Abe, I'm
a victim.
putting you on the pedestal that you need to be on because really you're doing a disservice to other survivors by not coming forward with your story, and I'm giving you a way out. I'm saying that by you not remembering. That's a trauma response, isn't it?
I remember it pretty clearly. Yeah. I mean, I was flattered, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get a say in this too. You know what I mean? I know how to defend myself.
That's awesome.
You know, I think you could make that same argument to any woman who's ever been hit on by a dude, or vice versa. You know?
Yeah. Do you remember what he looked like?
Yeah, stuff like this. Which one?
Which one? Wow, you're just a man about town.
The last fella was it was a black dude, about 6'2", medium build.
What the fuck?
Shorter hair. Yeah.
You ought to carry pepper spray. Yeah.
Nah, I don't need pepper spray, man.
Fuck that.
Yeah, he don't look like he need pepper spray.
Are you packing? Are you an open carry type of guy?
I used to be. I used to be one of them dudes. It was also like right after I got out, and it was. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's different, but
because I'd be real happy too.
I own several guns, but I don't really do the open carry thing anymore. And even if I do carry, it's usually for very like specific circumstances.
Yeah, but if I had a gun on me in Walmart and somebody came up to me and they hit on me or like they tap my ass or whatever, I'd be really happy too. I'd be like, yeah, buddy, do that shit again. Chomping at the bid, you know.
So none of them ever touched me, right? It was just always being very complimentary.
Just blew you a kiss from afar.
I'd say, not yet, but challenge accepted.
I saw you up here looking at the Tide Body detergent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this guy's on something else here. Let's take a look.
I mean, what he's doing to those people is just rude. You know?
Yeah. Because he doesn't mean it. Because it's not genuine.
What? Oh.
2 men in the same aisle, lucky me.
Twerp.
What in the world is a cutie patootie like you doing standing around?
I don't know what you're talking about,
see, but he's smiling. I don't know what you're talking about. You bet he went home to his lady and was like, "You won't believe what this Mexican called me today."
Hit on me in front of the video section at the Walmart. Is that the video section? I don't know.
Yeah. He's in the children's manga section. It looks like he's in the.
That's fucking funny.
But he enjoyed that. He took that to heart. Oh man, there's one at the end. I can't skip forward because this is Instagram, but there's one at the end. This guy goes, "I put people down for that shit." He really didn't like it. I'll play it. Like yeah. Like there's some serious I have it muted, but there's some serious homophobes that wouldn't enjoy it. Like this guy, clearly what this guy says is really funny, actually.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad with social interactions.
I'm really bad with social interactions. Like he's just an awkward piece of shit. Like he can't even take a compliment. Like, imagine being that socially inept that's what you say to people. You just admit it.
Wow. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie.
What do you think, Christian? What do you think is the absolute worst non-homophobic, non-racist thing you could say in that scenario? Like, what do you think is like the absolute, like, just the shittiest thing you could say in that scenario?
Like, how do you mean? Like, in response to that person?
Yes. So, like, we had a laugh at, like, I don't do well with social interactions, which is a lot of syllables to say, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
So, like, what would you think would be like the rudest thing in the world? Rude. We'll go with rude. That someone could say in that situation.
Like, shut the fuck up, faggot. Like, we've had quite an exchange so far. It's like in so many words you told me you don't want to talk to me, just say that, or just like shut up, right? It's like it doesn't make sense. Like,
okay,
why?
So let me ask you this: what's the politest way to, I don't want to say refuse, but refute in advance?
Refute in advance.
Like say Yeah, so say you see a fella and you go up and you try to chat him up and flirt him up. Like what's the nicest way to say like, hey man, like not my thing.
How would I want to be let down softly? I would say, like you're too good for me or something like that, or I don't deserve you.
Oh, okay.
Something. Okay. Whisper a sweet nothing.
Yeah. You're too pretty for me.
You're too pretty for me, right?
That can almost be taken the wrong way.
Yeah. But you'd also
that's interesting.
You also don't want to say anything that's going to make them, that's going to keep them coming. Like if you feel like there's a chance you might see this person again, you want to make sure you've shaken them. So you want to make sure you let them down, but maybe with like kind of a compliment of some kind, right?
Yeah,
like soft landing.
And fucking run,
Yeah. This is the guy right here, by the way. This is the.
Oh wow, yeah.
I recognize the cutie patootie over here.
I didn't see him.
I didn't see him.
No, not me.
Definitely you.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, not me.
You're cute.
Doesn't matter. I'll put people down for that shit, man.
Hey, no.
They just straight up threatened him. That's awesome.
Hey,
That
Yeah.
What was that word? That escalated quickly.
And like you almost believe him too, because he's opening a product in Walmart.
Yes,
he's just going through something.
And I'm like, hey, yo, he don't care, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, shit. Like he's doing it in front of somebody.
Yeah,
in front of somebody that like may or may not have their phone out, obviously recording. So it's like he just don't care, bro.
Yeah, like that would be the last person I would say something like that to. Somebody who's like actively, like potentially committing theft.
Yeah,
I wouldn't approach him.
Fucking that box for a remote or something. Yeah.
Holy shit! No, that's
like I'm making sure all the parts are in here still.
Man, oh man. We had Chris. We had Chris on here the other day, Chris Pierce, and he was talking about during the pandemic he would work out, right? And he had a VR headset that he would work out with, right? Like he would put on whatever exercise games he had, almost like the Wii Fit craze where everyone had the Wii Fit boards, but now people are using their VR headsets to do that. And so that kind of took us down a rabbit hole of just like workout videos and workout routines that I wanted to share with guys and see if they're kind of on the same page. Because this is kind of what I get down with when I get to the gym.
Luscious glutes. Here's some awesome lunge variations. Starting with the split squat. What a massive glute exercise.
Holy shit,
guys.
man.
Great range of motion. Yeah. Look at that stretch of that peach. This is a must for big glutes. Next.
That guy has like a female Marvel character ass. Like, look at that thing, man.
It's like,
holy hell.
It's truly one of a kind. He's in yoga pants. He has no business being dressed like that and showing all that off.
Cheeked up
on the Smith machine here, guys. The Smith machine step up.
Look at that
what
thing.
A beast this is, guys.
Shit, man.
Guys, look at this range of motion, stretching that glute like no other, driving through the heel. This is an amazing exercise to get that big peach.
I mean, that's a fucking spectacle. Look at that goddamn thing.
It is. It is. So if this guy hit on, would you hit on this guy? Actually, I guess my question.
No, I don't think I'd hit on him. But like, you can't walk around in pants like that and like not expect to get some comments, especially from dudes, right? Like,
he's 100% getting growth at the store, and I mean,
I'm not gonna grope the guy.
I can't. I mean, you might not, but like somebody is.
No,
okay.
And I'll tell you when it is. It's Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, right after church lets out, at the IHOP or at the Walmart, wherever these old women get off the bus and go to next. They're the ones that they'll come up in the rascal scooters and they'll give them a little tap.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get you.
Oh my goodness!
Drive by, smack them on the ass, and have like a little fucking train just passing by, following his ass around.
They love that shit, especially old black ladies.
Those old ladies with fucking heart attack.
Man.
What a way to go.
Definitely.
Holy shit, man. That is I'm not even mad at it. That's
man,
wow.
It's unnecessarily big, and I mean, it is a spectacle. This one's kind of a different vein. This is kind of like what not to do at the gym. I imagine this is a cautionary tale.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Blink and you can miss it. You know, you'll miss it here. Right there. That diamond motion. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're not
tricky.
supposed to fucking like have your legs go all the way straight.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're not supposed to let them do that. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
they will bend. They will bend.
That's
every time.
God's revenge for slamming the weights.
I know that shit. Yeah, real talk though, kid, because he's a fucking asshole. Because like, I thought we were watching somebody shoot at the fucking range, bruh. Like, did you see me looking around? I got concerned for a second.
Yeah.
Like, what is he fucking doing that?
Well, he's doing it for the video, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's making this much noise alone, you know, off camera. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's exactly what you said. Like, you don't have any business doing that to begin with. It's obnoxious for one. It's ridiculous. It's showboaty. And now you need a new leg. That's gonna be an ordeal, I think, to repair.
That shit hurts, bro. Oh my god, I know that shit hurts. And
I wonder if those are real plates too.
You don't think they are? You think they're for show?
I don't know. I mean, considering what they did to his knees, or knee rather, that might have been a thing. But
I think it's the real deal.
Well, sometimes I've heard on Instagram they have these like these plates that look like 45s, but they really only weigh like 10 pounds. And people, you know, these influencer fucking people will do this thing, and they'll do like crazy feats of strength, but they're not really feats of strength.
Yeah,
honestly. That weight too, even if they were 10s, could still break your
shit. Yeah,
I'm with you there. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
So, you know what? Yeah.
Imagine this was stolen valor and you still fucked your shit up too.
Oh my god!
Like double karma.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Fascinating.
That's sad.
Jesus Christ.
He'll probably never walk again, or maybe it'll take a while. But you know,
it'll take some time.
I hope he learns from it.
Oh my god! Holy fuck! He probably won't.
All right, so with either of you guys, well, let's do this. Last night, so I got home, I watched some of Bill Maher, and then I had to turn it off. I couldn't take any more. But what I did instead of going to bed was I opened Instagram and I just started scrolling and just looked for anything, any bit of joy I could find. And I stumbled upon this dude who does these challenges. He just eats things that people tell him to eat in the comments of his videos, right? And he does it on camera. So are you guys, before I play this, are you guys averse to seeing people eat weird things at all? Is that, because I do want to, yeah, this is going to get,
I don't know.
You don't know?
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I tried to prep you. I gave you a little bit of whiplash with the fun, happy-go-lucky, big ass guy, and then leg snap. Yeah, I wanted to wake you up a little bit. This is strategic here, but here.
Who needs coffee when you have that fucking thing walking in front of you every day? Jesus Christ, man. Well, that's unreal.
Like I said, I just discovered this guy last night, and he's really doing it on Instagram.
Hey, bet you want to eat a little bit of beef tongue. Do you know who I am, Cat?
That's wrong.
It's all
it's beef tongue, man. It's lingua.
Yeah, no, so it's all like...
Is it raw?
It's all normal shit, and it's not raw, it's cooked. He cooks everything. He just eats crazy normal food by all accounts, right? Like it's...
Is this a setup? What's his
Americans wouldn't eat it.
Exactly. Yeah, just like crazy outlandish foods is what he eats. But this is his gimmick.
Ideally, I want to kind of put this tongue in my mouth and kind of pretend it's my tongue just to see how mad I look with a massive tongue. Ready? I want to show you the texture sounds of the tongue. Listen. Right, here we go. Little bit of beef tongue. Let's get it. I'm going to go for a hard bite because I reckon that first texture is going to be really hard to break.
Eat it here. Yeah.
Right.
Beef tongue.
There's hairs on it.
Ew. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Oh, no.
What a weirdo.
Now the comics make sense, because the first thing I did was read the comments I could see, and the last one is nobody's forcing you to do this, sir. It's okay. And I'm like, I mean, he's just eating it, but now I see he's having an extremely hard time eating that shit.
This guy, in all of his videos, he does these challenges, and he can't ever eat anything. It's just him.
That guy would have sucked on Fear Factor.
Seriously. It's just this guy vomiting all over his floor, all over himself in every one of these challenge videos. And it's like, why? What? But it's that disease. It's that clout virus, right? It's the same infection I think that comedians have when they get like one laugh. And this guy gets 405,000 likes, and he can't stop throwing up all over his floor now. He's trapped in this loop. Like,
I'll be famous.
I just want to say I'm really proud of myself, because I'm normally a sympathetic puker.
Oh, really?
And I held it together there.
You know, we've had a guy throw up on our podcast. True story. And it wasn't from something we subjected him to. He had like the flu or like norovirus or something like that. Didn't tell us he was sick or anything. He was just saying he needed to record from home. And it's like, okay, like similar how you're sick now, you want to, distance, and that's all good and well. He didn't tell us that. He just said he preferred to be remote with us. And what was it, like 15 minutes into the recording? Just you just see him double over, and you hear the sound of like shit hitting the floor and the desk and everything.
Oh my god! And like, I knew it was gonna happen right before it happened. I could just fucking tell. I was like, my spidey sense is tingling, and sure enough, fucking tragic.
I don't know. But
tingled his gag reflex.
This is my new favorite guy, though. This is
is this the same dude, that British guy?
Yeah, it's the same guy. This is That's how you know he's British, if you couldn't tell already by like his voice or general disposition. He can't even speak. He can't even get the words out. He's not even holding the thing.
I'm like, Brad, please don't. Come on, chill.
I bet the people in the comments are like uncontrollably laughing right now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Come on,
it's a
bro.
beef.
Come on. Oh my god.
It's a beef ear.
Like,
it's just
I'm
like
getting livid.
Yeah.
Because he won't eat this shit. He keeps throwing up.
There's one that's really bad. He does a lot with Guinness. Like he'll do a lot of beer challenges where people will tell him to drink Guinness with something in it. Like drink Guinness with a whole bottle of mustard in it, or like a whole thing of beans in it. And that's by far, I won't subject you to that, because that's him like literally throwing up into the cup and then still trying to drink it. So he's just like topping the cup back up. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's foul.
I'm really gonna enjoy my supper after this.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. This is my new favorite guy, though.
I'm fucking great.
I'm glad I was able to share it with you guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did.
I've recently discovered this lady who has a chicken farm, and she'll do like voiceovers with her chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as controversial as this, but it is wildly entertaining. And you don't have to watch a fucking British dude barf on him all over his apartment.
You got me sold already. That's all you had to tell me. I'm right there. You said chicken?
Yeah.
Like she's like playing the parts of all of her chickens.
Yeah. And like, she'll follow them around with a camera and whatever they're. Have you ever seen like bad lip reading? You ever seen any of those?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She'll do that, but with like chickens.
That's cool.
That sounds fun, actually.
That's wholesome.
Petunia, have you seen Richard?
Let's look at this.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, this will bring us home.
What the fuck is this, Christian?
Hey, yo.
This is a lady who makes cakes. I also found her last night, and she's just going to explain what her
Welcome back
gimmick
to
is.
another episode of Cakes on Cakes, which is where I take my cake, my bubble butt, okay, and I sit on the cake. It is called Cakes on Cakes. The logo is me sitting on a cake. I tell you in the beginning.
So she makes this elaborate dessert, right, in this time-lapse video, right, and it's really good looking. I mean, she must be a baker by trade or something, like some sort of confectionery, and I mean, it's
making a
candy corn cake, yeah, right, really well decorated. I would eat that. I'd buy that from Publix or wherever, right?
That shit does look good, high key. Like I was thinking that. I'm like, I see the vision, and now I'm learning how motherfuckers make cakes, and like
exactly. It's almost like a tutorial or like an educational.
Oh, it is a candy corn cake. I was trying to make a joke.
No, like seriously, it's candy corn.
I think she put some inside. Yeah.
What was the word?
Put hairspray
some people
on
were getting very mad at me that I was not cutting into the cake.
Not
Candy corn is nasty, by the way.
She says candy corn is nasty.
Amen.
Like she doesn't even like candy corn, but she's making this cake for whatever reason.
What?
Yeah.
I almost said something.
I'd be not showing you the inside of the cake before I crushed it.
I guess
I will slice it.
There's controversy that she never cuts it open ever in her videos, so this is the first time she's actually showing what it looks like on the inside.
I mean, guys, keep an eye out, okay? I appreciate everyone who's been so supportive and so awesome. Y'all have been some dope ass fans. Until next time, bye.
Very interesting.
Welcome.
I'm not here to kink shame, man, but that seems like a waste of a perfectly good cake.
That's my thinking exactly. Yeah.
I used to love me some candy corn. Like candy corn was my shit back in the day. Like
I don't notice. I don't hear you agreeing or disagreeing, Lorenzo. What's up with that?
With what? On what?
Are you co-signing her behavior, or are you as mad as Abe and I are?
Look. If she wants to sit on cakes, she could sit on some goddamn cakes.
Right.
You know? That's her God-given right that, you know what I'm saying, that me and Abe fought for her to do that.
If somebody if somebody labored over making a cake that looked like that, and I'm sure it tasted really good. It looked like a really good, like, yellow cake, right? By all accounts, I like candy corn, so I would eat the whole thing. And then they defiled it in that way and like sat on it in front of.
At least she's doing it to her own cake,
to
not
her own
someone
cake,
else's cake,
right?
You know?
But still, I put people down for that shit.
She said on them. That would you buy it?
Would I buy it after she sat on it? I don't know.
I'm sure someone has.
She charges extra. She charges extra to sit on it.
I'm sure there's a bidding war in the comments as we speak. Like they're still trying to auction it off.
Oh, shit,
see who to ship it to.
Hey man, I don't knock the hustle.
Yeah.
It's a combo deal. Get the shorts or get the cake, or you could get both for a $10 discount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, fries.
Yeah. That's a whole new channel.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, what a wild ride.
That's wild, man.
We made it full circle. Yeah. I mean, we don't always watch gross clips or stupid clips. Like sometimes we'll talk about serious things, but I feel like 2025 is the year of just not giving a fuck, and you know, we're only here for but so long. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's see some crazy shit. And I think that's
Indeed
the direction I want to head this year anyway. And then we'll see if, you know, everything changes with the Trump administration, if we need to talk about the news again or anything like that. But, you know, knock on wood. Exactly. You know, let's hope everything is still happy and fun.
I love, like, there was some article that says that, you know, all the ratings on every cable news network are down because people are burnt out on politics. And I'm like, well, no shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think I would much rather watch, you know, fucking barfy British dude than watch another fucking pundit wax stupid or, you know, whatever on like what they may think or may not be happening down the road.
I don't think so.
It's fucking exhausting.
This is still pretty bad though.
That is not.
It is pretty bad, but you know what? That's almost like my gag reflex is more triggered watching political pundits argue with each other on the news than it is by watching this guy.
Really?
I could see it because, like, we know we're fucked.
I mean, it's hyperbole, but
thing to like witness that we're fucked, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could pretend we're not, but if you're watching it in your face, it's like, yo, no, switch with this.
Just come and look at that.
Yep. I'm actually focusing right on you, Lorenzo. I'm just gonna watch your face and only your face. Yeah. Yeah. And if you start barfing, I'm gonna look right at Christian. And then if he starts barfing, I'm gonna look at my
stop.
Old ass fucking pint glass here full of water.
He fucking barfs and other people barfs, but at the same time, he might have overcome it. I don't know.
No, I definitely I had the same thing. Something happened. Something came over to me last night watching this at like 3 a.m. that I just for some reason it didn't get me, and I was laughing instead of vomiting. So it was.
I think it's more the smell for me. I think as soon as I smell it, that's when it comes up. But I got close. I got close when he does this one where it's a fermented fish in a can.
Ew.
Where as soon as you open it up, you open the can up and it's spraying everywhere because it's already because I can smell that through my phone, and I was like, okay, I got to turn this off now. So I didn't subject you to that either because that one was pretty foul.
Buddy.
Yeah, of course. You know, we look out for my guests on our show. I wouldn't do you dirty, Abe. Let's take a look at your socials here, your social media as we wind down toward the end of the show. Got you here on Instagram at no, it's not at all. I mean, this is a seamless transition.
Here, I plugged your show there.
Oh, thank you.
On the new comment thing.
I was like,
hell yeah.
I never tried one of those, but I was looking at it. I was like, L&C, and I was like, oh shit, bro, that's fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah. No, yeah, the little notes. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
You bet.
Abe Mousavi, comedy, one word. You have to come back. I mean, truly, we would love to have you. You're welcome whenever you want. I mean, it's as easy as this, as you can see. And then this is what you have coming up.
Yeah, got quite a bit.
I'm sure more to come too in between. In the meantime, in between time. January 24th. That's a fun show. We did that together the last time. Sure did. With Joe Buccino, who we're in talks to record with tomorrow, actually. So sneak peek at next episode. That'll be a fun one. And then okay. So I thought this was a podcast. The Bargoyles, is that a podcast as well?
It is. So it's a live taping of their Valentine's episode. I wasn't here for the one they did last year, but they do this every year around Valentine's Day. And they're trying to build up to the point where they do it every quarter.
Okay.
They have a live taping of their podcast, and but this is kind of like part podcast, part variety show. So he's gonna have comics come and do like 5 minutes, but it's all gonna be like love and relationship based. He's got musical acts that are gonna play in between the different segments, like Daphne London's coming to play.
That's hilarious. I just booked
Heather
her.
Joyce.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. I just booked her for a similar thing. So, we're going to try a variety show at Fat Pete's, and just like comedians are going to do sets, and then they're going to play instruments after. She's the closer for that.
I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I think
it's high time to bring back the variety show.
Hell yeah! Mm-hmm. And you're a musician too, or you played an instrument at one point? You were saying?
Yeah, I was a percussionist. I play guitar, bass. I started getting into. During COVID, I got really into like electronic music and synthesizers and stuff like that, because it's still very complicated. But they have arpeggiators and they have a chord button. So it's not as, you still have to know a little bit of theory, but it's more about like structuring the song and that's anyway. I don't want to
one of these type, like a controller type situation.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I've got something very similar to that, and I have a Moog Sub 35.
Oh, that's what's up.
I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoy that. That's a lot of fun just to kind of zone out in your room, and I call it spinning and grinning. You get a good sequence going, and it's just kind of on repeat, and you're spinning knobs and making it do funny things. But hey, I enjoy it. Sometimes the shit gets off the rails though, and you're like, oh, I got to start over. But it's that's a lot of fun.
Well, I don't
know if I'd be ready to perform in any of those things. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, well, if you want to start practicing now, I wish I'd known that sooner, because I would have put you on this thing. I was really like scrambling to find people. It's hard to find people in the stand-up space that are musicians or have experience in really any kind. But we found enough people to fill out one show. But if this goes well,
good.
The next time around, I would love to have you. And yeah, it's kind of like a jazz thing, rock, all genres really, but mainly jazz. But yeah, I mean,
if you're legit.
If you're down, you can see how Daphne liked it, and then take it for a spin.
That'd be great. Daphne's awesome. I really like her. She's a great comedian, and she works her ass off, and she's just a pleasant person to be around.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that.
So that'll be fun.
So the other, yeah, indeed.
And then just go through them real quick. Yeah.
So we got that. Sure. Yeah. So then doing one of the things that Jim up at Church of Satire does that I really appreciate is he does a lot of straight leg comedy shows, but he also does these like theme shows. And the one I'm doing there on the 31st, I believe, it's a confessional show, and it's set up. They have one guy who's playing the role of a priest, and comics will go up and give a fake confession, and then they just riff off each other. But like the confession that the comedians are giving, they're bits. They're just disguised as they're bits. They're just disguised as confession things. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be fun. And then the following week, I'll be back there with Nick DiLorenzo. His stage name is Nick D's. I don't know if you guys know him. He'd be great to have on the show. Wonderful human being. He put me on, I was helping him with a bunch of video stuff, and he put me on his Don't Tell. He's the Don't Tell Richmond producer, one of them anyway.
Okay.
And I did my first Don't Tell show with him down in Virginia Beach, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm stoked that he's having me on this show up at Church of Satire. And then about a month later, I'm doing
Chris Porter's show. Yeah, I've been there. That's a great room. It's really cool.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things.
Very classy.
It just looks like a cool room.
Yes,
looks like something out of the 60s. I'm really pumped on that.
No, you'll have a great time there. And then Bushwick Comedy Club. Wow, all the way in New York. See, look.
Yeah.
All over the place, up and down the coast.
Put some miles on the Comedy Mobile that weekend. Yeah. So Lauren Cocroft, who was on the show with us at the VFW, their Joe Pacino's show, she put me on that show up there in Brooklyn, and that's pretty neat. I haven't been to New York City this century. Last time I was in New York City was like the late 90s. I want to say.
Yeah. It's still New York.
I'm old.
It's still hustling and bustling. I went up there. I didn't do any comedy, but I did take a trip, and yeah, just take it all in. Go at your own pace.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Make sure you're not walking everywhere like I was, and you'll be okay.
There you go. I love that. I'm gonna bring a camera. I'm just gonna resist the urge to photograph everything by eyeballs and see.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. Make sure you get some good pictures of the rats too. And plenty of those.
That could be a thing.
And then is that everything for the month? Yeah, you have the flyer for Chris's show here. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
So Chris is headlining that show. That's Joe Pacino's show at the Online VFW there in Arlington. That's gonna be a fun lineup. Of course, Pat, Jeff. Jeff Strickland, he and I were ASAP classmates together. He's
I know Jeff,
a Puerto Rican dude out of New York.
Jeff does he's my Michael Lock. Yeah, he's always at Comedy Gym. He's a great dude.
Yeah, he's very complimentary of your mic, and he appreciates the feedback that he gets from folks. So that's not something we get a lot of, unless we have like, hey man, can you take some notes? And unless you have like a working relationship with somebody. I'm so bummed I missed it last night, but I didn't want to. I don't want to show up like hawking and gagging and spitting all over everybody. So
no, I appreciate that too. It's a pretty close space.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm really looking forward to doing that.
You got a lot to look forward to, man. I mean, 10 shows in, you've already got almost nearly 10 more on the books, and way more to come. So I mean, you're putting in the work.
Thank you.
And that's an inspiration, I'm sure, to so many who will see this and yeah, follow in your footsteps. So I mean, good on you, dude. Let me know how New York goes. I'm really curious about that. That'll be a great time.
I will.
Like a one of a kind.
I met
experience.
Noah Miller at Dwayne's mic on Tuesday. Noah, I guess he's moved up to DC. Sorry, he's moved up to New York City from DC, but he was pretty involved in the scene down here, from what I understand. And he was really complimentary of the Bushwick Comedy Club.
Okay.
And so I'm like super stoked. I was just stoked to do comedy in New York City, but now I'm like really amped about it.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Hell yeah. Well, good on you, Lorenzo. What do you have coming up? You have your contest right this weekend.
I do.
Say what?
On Sunday, January 19th.
January 19th. Go to Dream Big Venues in Del Mar, Delaware, and support Lorenzo Taylor in Conquest against how many others? Do you know how many are in that round?
I think it's like 10 of us all together. That's just a guess. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow.
I could pay more attention than I do, but that sounds like a good number to go off of, you know.
But it's the Mike Masters competition at Dream Big Venues, right there on the screen. Go check that out.
There it goes.
There it goes.
11.
It looks like about 10.
Hell yeah.
I can't really see the screen that well, but I'm guesstimating.
I'm like all up on this thing. I'm like,
anyone else we know?
Charlotte.
I know that one.
Charlotte. Oh, she's going to be
Greg
fierce
Peters?
Oh, Greg Peters is on there.
Oh, is she on there too?
Yep.
Oh shit.
Well, all I can say is good luck.
Greg Paul.
Represent us well.
Hanover.
I know you'll make us proud.
Dom Driscoll's on that one. Dom's funny. Dom's super funny. You're gonna have a good time, man.
Zach Haynes. Oh wow, Zach.
What?
Zach's all the way up there. That's awesome.
Oh, I didn't see his photo. That's dope.
Yeah.
I love Zach, man.
I just went to his birthday party actually. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
And then for me, just Cheers Comedy DC as always. We have January 25th. It's a post-inaugural show. We pushed it back a couple weeks so that people will be back in town after they flee for the inauguration. All the liberals flee town because they're pussies. But after they've returned to their sanctuaries, we'll put our show right here. It is. We've got Winston Hodges, Kim Villamera, Alex Tominski, and then Elizabeth Booker Houston headlining that one.
Holy shit.
And then Balia, Quinn, Klein, M. Fisk, and I were all on it. It's going to be a packed out lineup. We got a lot of people. I don't know how we're going to fit all that in, but we're going to try. And then we're cooking it up as we speak. I was kind of talking about it, but February 22nd, that's a Saturday, is going to be our Valentine's Day music variety show thing. So that's when that's happening.
Oh, cool.
Tickets aren't on sale yet, but be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be doing all of it. I'm producing the hell out of that myself. And then I will say Keep Her Sweet Comedy Gym, as always, every single Wednesday we're back in action. So that's it on my end. Abe, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you're the man.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry if I jump scared you with a few of those videos. That was really.
I thought it was funny, man. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's my goal. Yeah, I never want to piss anybody off or make you feel uncomfortable. But sometimes.
Oh no, not even a little bit. People, I think people make assumptions. Being a former Marine. I have a little bit of a twang in my voice. I get told I dress like a farmer. So people make assumptions about like where my, where my proclivities lie. And they're usually surprised. And that feels good to me.
Hell yeah.
I thought they were hilarious,
Well, awesome.
I'll put people down for less, brother, or whatever the fuck that one dude said.
Yeah, that guy's a G. He's a savage, truly. I would not.
Yeah, I was about to say that dude's been to prison.
dangerous.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, or he's at least killed someone for sure.
Yeah, he was polite about it. And then he was like, "All right, I don't have the patience for this. Like now I have to establish dominance."
Well, you get 2 strikes and then he stabs you. You know, so it's like,
give him 2 strikes.
Well, before we close out here,
to keep it intimate.
Before we end things, at the end of each podcast, we do a thing at the end where Lorenzo gives the audience advice on anything we may or may not have talked about or watched throughout the episode. So without further ado, Lorenzo, please take it away. Any advice for people?
I mean, my first goal is leave people alone in the stores because you don't know who might put you down for it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I'll admit, me, myself, like, if you come up on me, and I know it's never going to happen because people aren't that dumb. They see me, you know what I'm saying? Like, people assume stuff about Abe. People see me and they assume, but they also know what's up. Like, ain't nobody just going to run up on me. And that's smart because it would be extremely unwise.
I never heard anybody tell another human being that they'll put them down. Like, it seems very like an animal. Yeah, like a deer. Animal shelter.
Like, I'm going to put you out your misery because obviously you too bored out here fucking with me, you know. I have this joke in the works kinda, and I'm like, these old people are like, so, you know, lately I've noticed the old people are getting wild. They're like shoving motherfuckers and shit. Like, the old people are getting a bit aggressive, and I'm like, they're fighting
restless
back.
Biden syndrome, I think they call it.
Hair colors, you know, and they're just like pissed about it. Back in my day, we only had 5. That's way too many. And they're just taking their fucking aggression out on the younger generations.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that during COVID. Yeah, just old people like at their wits' end. You know, not wearing this, man. I'm gonna die tomorrow. And then just blowing up.
The one say to you, you ever had a cock in your ass? The homeless lady. Yo.
Any advice for people who can't stomach their food, who just can't keep it down?
Bruh, fucking goddamn.
Even for a challenge.
Don't fucking eat. If you're throwing up, don't put it to your fucking face, bro. Like, holy shit, what are we doing?
But if the views are coming in, though, but you're raking in views, the engagement is up tenfold, 100-fold. It's not worth it.
It matters how much money you're making, because we all do shit we don't want to do for money.
Yeah.
But like,
that guy's torturing himself. Either that guy has a kink for throwing up.
DoorDash. He can do. The man has options. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not making any money on Instagram. I know for a fact that whatever the
sympathy for that guy.
Monetization on Instagram is not such that that's worth
garbage.
Yeah, it's completely. He's making like cents on the dollar for literally throwing up.
In his case.
And I wish I'd pulled this one, but there's one clip where you can hear his wife upstairs like, "Oh, what the fucking hell? Are you throwing up all over the floor and shit like that?" like she's just been through it. I'm sure she's the one like cleaning it up after. It's just like a piece of shit.
I'm surprised he's still married.
Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah, I was surprised when you said that.
Yeah, it's truly disgusting.
If my wife came home and saw me doing videos like that, she would find the nearest thing she could find that would hurt me and throw it at me. You know what I mean? Like,
she should. She rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely. She should.
Abe, thank you again. I mean, you're the man. Thank you for hanging in here.
Thank you, brother. Thanks so much.
You're welcome anytime. I mean, please, you're an ideal guest. You're so gracious. You're absolutely hilarious. I look forward to seeing you at any one of those events. If I can make time, I'd love to come out and
support. Looking forward to your show on the 22nd.
Yes, and please come by the gym when you can. If you're ever free on a Wednesday, I know it's tricky to get out to, but we'd love to have you on the open mic or any of Cheers' mics. We have Fat Pete's Barbecue as well in rotation. So come check us out sometime.
Yeah, I'm doing 20 at Joe's show for the first time next Friday. So the Wednesday before that, I've got a roadblock on one of these bits I've been working, and so I'd like to come to get some sage advice on that one and hopefully clear the roadblock for
hardly sage. We do have Mike this Sunday, which is sign up on site. So if you're interested, there's always a spot for you.
Okay. What time is that?
We'll talk after, but until then, Looking forward to seeing you, Lorenzo. As always, we got to fix your mic, bro, because this Guantanamo situation, the sleeper cell thing we got going on is not gonna work. I love you.
I thought it was fun last time, but I'm gonna get me another audio box tomorrow.
I saw San Leanda in the comments looking out, so I'm gonna shout out to them. Thank you for commenting and engaging. I love you too. And good night, everybody. Take it easy. We'll see you next time. We'll see you with Joe Buccino next episode. Bye-bye.
Thanks again, guys.
Adios. Of course, absolutely. Thank you for coming.